Okay, hello, I'm Shhyonara. We're doing a Kanto Gen 1 Pokemon tier list. S being favorites, A being stuff I really like, B I like or respect, C I'm like conflicted on their design, some sort of underwhelming evolutions or something, I don't know, we'll see. D, I dislike it for some reason. F is something that I hate and I wish it wasn't in there. I'm not too sure about how I feel about a lot of these. I think the Kanto gets a lot of love and I think the modern generation gets a lot of hate. I'm trying to compare it to like my all-time Pokemon if they're my favorites. I feel like otherwise it's like, oh, because it's in Kanto it's higher up than it should be. It's like if these mons were in a modern Pokemon game, would I use them in my team? It's not if they're strong or not, they're just like if I like their aesthetic or design or something. I think Bulbasaur is either B or A. I think probably B. It's really, it's not a good start if I'm already hesitating. I think this is how I feel about them, is I don't really like Squirtle as much as the other two, but I do think their designs are respectable. Ivysaur I like, Charmeleon I'm indifferent to. Maybe Charmeleon's B. But Venusaur I dislike for a reason. I think it's weird and bulky and unappealing. Charizard can go into A as well. Okay, this is gonna be a hard list is what I'm realizing. Wartortle is I think both of these are in C actually. It's like I'm fine with them. They exist, but I don't feel too strongly either way. It's just like mid evolutions are always kind of underwhelming, so I think this is okay. Caterpie, I have no complaints about it. I think it's pretty iconic, but I don't personally like it. Same with Metapod. Butterfree is kind of awkward looking, honestly. I actually think it's like this. Weedle and Kakuna I think are better than these. Actually, I think Caterpie like this. Something like that, I guess. But Beedrill can go into B tier. I think I prefer Beedrill to Squirtle if I'm honest. I know that's a crazy take. But yeah, Pidgey I think is pretty good for a regional bird. It's a good iconic thing. But it's not the most amazing. Pidgeot and Pidgeotto are like here. I don't know, I'm indifferent to them. It's really hard to differentiate between some of the tiers. We'll try and be consistent. But yeah, Rattata I think is fine as an iconic mon. It's not a good mon, but it's like, it's a purple rat, it's fine. Raticate I think is fine. I really don't like it, but as an evolution it makes sense. Spearow, I think I prefer Spearow to Pidgey, but Fearow is way worse. Yeah, I think that's so far I feel consistent about this list. Ekans, I don't like the face it makes, but I like that it's a purple snake, but it's in D for sure. Arbok is probably like on par with Butterfree. I think the design's okay. I think I like that it's a purple snake thing, but I would never use it personally. I think Pikachu is like top of B tier is fine. I think it's a little bit overloved, but I think its design is pretty iconic, you know? Like if my mother was to say her favorite Pokemon, it would probably be Pikachu. But maybe I can eventually convince her to think of something more creative. Raichu's like on par with these, I'm pretty sure. Like the evolution's a bit meh, personally, and I don't like stone evolutions that much, but I think it's an okay design. It's got a good design. Sandshrew I think is in A for me. I think it's a good design. I like that it's got like the little design thing that turns into spikes. I think it's unique. I don't think it gets enough love, if I'm totally honest. I think Sandshrew is kind of the GOAT. I also don't like other ground types, so there's a bias in that. I think Nidoran, male and female, are cool concepts. They might be an A. I might like reevaluate and put them in A. I think they're cute. I like that they're male and female. I think it's a cool concept for sure. They can go in B, and then we put Pikachu here, Beedrill there, Squirtle here. It's like these two are hard because they're just the same. I think for mid evolutions, I still like them. These are better. Yeah, I think this is okay so far. I just want to be consistent, and I know that my personal opinions are probably really bad, both like in terms of strength or fan favorites and stuff. Nidoqueen, I personally don't like. You know, I think the design's fine for being a queen, but like it's just like awkward design. It's kind of unappealing if you ask me. Caterpie, I think Nidoking is, you know, it's fine. It's just a purple Rhydon, so I think it's kind of a lazy design, but I think it's okay. You know, it could be worse. Clefairy and Clefable, I don't particularly like the designs, if I'm honest. I think Clefairy is fine. It's a unique baby sprite, but like most of the baby ones are way higher for me. Just not too keen on it. Vulpix is the first S, and Ninetales can also be an S. I really like the designs. I think they're cool, especially in the lowland ones and stuff. But yeah, I don't think they're the strongest ones, but I think they're adorable, and I'm also like biased towards loving foxes. Jigglypuff can go next to Pikachu, right? I think. Actually, it's like next to Squirtle, just like here, I guess. I'm not sure why Beedrill is so high for me. I just feel like the design is like consistent. I think it's a good evolution. I feel like I respect it. Wigglytuff is like not something that I respect. I do prefer Wigglytuff to Clefairy, I think. No, I don't know. It's just, I think this is okay so far. I'm really sorry. I feel like I'm gonna offend a lot of people with my wrong opinions. Zubat design is fine. I prefer Golbat to Zubat, but it's fine. Like it's just a weird. It can't see it's a bat with teeth. It's not too. I don't have too strong opinion on it. Oddish, I actually really like Oddish design. It's very simple. It stands out. It's very iconic. I actually like honestly think it's about on par of Bulbasaur. So I don't know if that's the wrong opinion, but it's my one. Gloom is on par of Ekans. I don't know like why this has the weird face, and I don't know why this has drool on its mouth. It's very strange. Vileplume, I actually really like Vileplume. I think the little eyes and stuff, it's like a cool design. I think it's honestly like B tier, like Beedrill level. I think that's for some reason I really like it. Parasect and Paras are. Let me zoom into them a little. I don't know. The design's just kind of unappealing, but I think Parasect is like kind of cool. That it's got like the glasses and stuff. But yeah, they're a little ugly and forgettable if I'm personally judging them. Venonat is weird. I feel like Butterfree should evolve from Venonat. Like the design just looks a little strange to me, and Venomoth is just forgettable. But I prefer the design to a lot of the mons here, so I will put it just like here, I guess. But yeah, not too strong opinions about any of these, if I'm honest. Diglett design is pretty iconic. I respect it, but it's really not my type of Pokemon. It's like a Pidgey level. I think that's fine. Diglett I really don't like. I feel like the triple head evolutions is very common in Gen 1, and I don't get it. It feels like really lazy design. I don't see why people could defend Doug Trio as a mon. It feels so bad. It is a strong mon, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, like design wise, I don't like it. Persian is whatever. I put it next to Pidgeotto. I don't particularly like it, but I'm indifferent to it. Meowth I dislike, even in the anime, but I respect the character in the anime, but I would never use a Meowth, ever. Psyduck, I think concept-wise is okay, but he's like kind of annoying. His headache concept is like strange to me. Golduck I think is like here. I think its design is pretty unique. Psyduck might be in D. I'm not too sure. It's like Psyduck and Meowth are the same in my head because I'm thinking of the anime Indigo League or something, right? I don't know. Mankey I think is a cool-ish concept. It's like here I think for me, like next to Beedrill. And then Primeape I think the evolution's just kind of underwhelming. Like this is just this but angry with handcuffs on or something. I think it's okay, but I wish like that they were more creative with the design evolution, and that's what I feel about Charmeleon and Arcanine as well. But Growlithe I think is an easy A tier. I think it's a cool mon. I think it's better than Charizard honestly, but why do I think Oddish is better than Charizard? I have some strange opinions, I'm not gonna lie. But Arcanine I think is just like I think I much prefer Growlithe. It's cuter, it's better in every way, and Arcanine is just like, I'm indifferent to its existence if I'm honest. I think I prefer Arbok to Arcanine, and I know that's a crazy take, but we're moving on. Poliwag, I think it's an interesting design. It's probably B tier instead of A tier though, but it is really cute, and I like the evolution line. Yeah, Poliwag and Poliwhirl can go into B tier, whereas Poliwrath can go next to Primeape. Yeah, I think that's how I feel about things. I like the weird, you know, swirly water hypno thing. I think it's a cool concept, but personally it's not my personal taste. Abra I think is a really cool mon. I like that it like ignores teleport and it's hard to catch and it's a psychic type and stuff. But I'm a Gen 3er at heart, and I prefer Gardevoir and Ralts and stuff. So I think the naming system for Abra, Alakazam, and Kadabra is cool. I think it's a unique concept, but I really, really don't like their designs. I think Abra deserved way better designs. If you look at the Mega, for Mega Alakazam is like cool. I feel like it's unique and distinguishable, whereas I feel like these two is like one of them has red marks, one of them has 2 spoons. Like it feels like lazy design for me, and I'm so sorry to put someone's favorite Pokemon in D tier, but I feel like the designs just kind of feel bad. But very strong Pokemon, very strong psychic types. Just really, I don't know. I don't like when evolutions do that. That's why Blastoise and Venusaur are there too, because I just feel like Ivysaur and Wartortle deserved better evolutions than these two. Maybe I'm just weird with my like, I don't like Pokemons, but it's currently how I feel. In fact, I prefer these two to this. I really don't like the weird spoon thing. Machop, I'm sort of indifferent to. I think its design is pretty memorable, but not for me personally. So I guess it's like here, and then these two can go up here. I think their designs, the designs are good. It's like Arbok level. Something like this. I think it's good for a fighting type to have that. Really not my personal taste, but I feel like design-wise, I gotta respect them a little bit. Bellsprout, you know, it's Pidgey level. It's like here, I guess. Maybe it's below Pidgey, I'm not gonna lie. But it's like Kakuna level. I think that's okay. Loki, I prefer these. I don't know. C tier is gonna be messy. It's just like the ones I kind of feel no strong opinions to, just neutral. Weepinbell and Bellsprout are some of the worst design mons. I don't get it. I feel like Bellsprout could have been a lot more interesting with its evolutions. I get that these are unique and whatever, but I don't know. It's literally a PogChamp emote. I don't get it. Tentacool and Tentacruel, I think design-wise are pretty unique concepts, but for some reason I'm traumatized looking at them. They look little tentacle jellyfish things. I don't like them. In Ark Survival there's a giant squid called a Two-Sword-Toothus, and it used to kill all my dolphins, so maybe that's why they're in D tier. Or it's because in the games you're always swimming around running into these encounter like It's 50% encounter rate, and it's these at like level 15 or something. Geodude is like matchup level. I personally don't like it at all, but I think it has a unique design at least, you know. I can respect it a little bit, but yeah, like I don't know, these designs just really don't appeal to me at all. Graveler and Golem's the same story. I also don't like Golem's evolution. And it's also it's a trade evolution, right? Is that a thing? So I don't know, just ticking even more boxes I dislike about it. Honestly, I think this is like top of D compared to the others. I don't know, I have a weird opinions. Ponyta is above Growlithe, but like they're exactly the same in my brain, just depending on the different days is which one's my favorite. Ponyta's cute, I like it. Rapidash is the same as like these two. No, it's like a little lower. It's like here, I think. It's the same as Arcanine, whereas I like their base evolutions, but it's just like an older one with like a less appealing design than the cute ones. Good mons though. I just feel like there's a lot of good fire types that I wouldn't ever use Rapidash over Ninetales, despite Ninetales being way weaker. I'm pretty sure Ninetales isn't as strong. Anyway, I'm yapping. There's a lot of Pokemon to get through, and I feel like I'm not confident in talking so much, but that's okay. It's just a nice little tier list. Slowpoke, I don't like the design that much. It's like above Persian though. I guess it's above Rattata. I think it stands out enough. It's a big pink derpy looking thing, so I can respect its design a little bit, but yeah, really not the strongest design. I think Venomoth is kind of lower, right, because it's super forgettable. I kind of don't even remember these being Gen 1 Pokemon, and that's crazy to me. We're just gonna put them in here. Yeah, I feel like Venonat and Venomoth, I think design-wise are okay, but I feel like they're very forgettable. I don't remember them being Gen 1 at all. Slowbro, I don't know. I think if Slowpoke's in C, Slowbro's in D, it's just wearing a shell. it's whatever. Magnemite, I think it can go like bottom C-ish. I think the weird eye thing is weird on a steel type. I don't know, but I don't know. It's a very awkward looking design. I like the magnets obviously, but I feel like having a weird, I don't know, robotic thing with a single eye is kind of creepy. But Magneton is literally on par with Dugtrio. It's the same thing. I don't need to say more. Farfetch'd, I don't know what it's called. Chiting, whatever the one you get in that game is called, traded wise. I think it's just like above these very slightly. Which makes me want to bring Diglett down to here. Farfetch'd is fine design. It's just like the leak's kind of unique and cute, but otherwise it's not appealing to me. I think Doduo is my favorite of the birds. It's better than Butterfree. I think it's a cool design. And then this is like, yeah, Doduo and Dodrio. I don't know what it's called honestly. And the three different personalities of the three heads interesting. I think the sprite looks good in this. This is like on par with Pidgeotto, but yeah, just in C for sure. Seal is bottom of C. I think parts of the design is interesting, but it's kind of derpy looking and ugly, and I think it's deliberate, right? Because the cubs are supposed to be ugly. I don't know, but Dugong's way better. It's more rounded, it's cutesy. I feel like Dugong's a pretty well designed mon. Muck and Grimer, I really don't get the concept of these. It's just poison sludge, right? It feels like the evolution's lazy. They're the same looking thing, it's just more sludge. It's stupid. I don't like it. Purple is a cool color though, so it's not an F, I guess. Sheldar, I think, is an okay design. It's like Bellsprout level, where it's like, okay, I see what you're doing. It's a shell with a tongue. It's like, you know, something. And then Cloyster's an F. It's, you know, for reasons. You guys know what I'm talking about. Moving on. Ghastly is probably like here for me. Trying to think. Ghastly is below these, above there. Yeah, I think Ghastly is below Arcanine. The Shadow Ball Pokemon, it's fine. I think the concept's pretty cool. Haunter, I actually really respect. I think Haunter is one of my favorite designs that I personally don't like. I think, you know, the evolution of like a ghost type getting scarier is really cool. And then it sort of regresses with Gengar, where it's like, okay, Haunt is starting to get like, it's like a nightmare Pokemon. It like haunts your dreams and stuff. And then Gengar is just like, I don't know, people think Clefable is Gengar, like the design is just like, it's Shadow Clefable, and I think that's really not good. Like, I think if anything, Ghastly should evolve into Gengar and then into Haunter, and I feel like that's a better growth for the evolution line. I know a lot of people's favorite Mon is Gengar, and I don't hate its design. I just like, similar to these two, is I just wish the evolution was like more creative, I guess. You know, it could be like League of Legends Nocturne Haunter, like haunts your dreams things, and I feel like obviously it's a kid's game, but yeah, Gengar just sort of makes it fall short. Onyx is a very unique design. It's a rock snake, right? It's like whatever, but it's just, it fits into this category for me. Maybe I'm just, you know, anti-rock type, honestly, but you know, it's an iconic Mon, but I don't know, it's so derpy looking, I hate it. Hypnor and Drowsy are some of my most hated Pokemons. I think in the lore they're really creepy. They put you to sleep a lot. I think, you know, there's so many yellow Pokemon in this generation, and these two are creepy little disgusting animal type things. I don't know, I really don't like these designs. I don't know why I'm so traumatized by them, but I really don't like them. Krabby and Kingler are kind of on the level of this for me, where it's just like, I don't know, it's a crab. It's like, I think Krabby is next to Seal, and Kingler, the evolution is really underwhelming. But it's not like the worst design. Like, for sure it could be better, it could be worse. Electrode and Voltorb is peak lazy design. In my mind, it's on the same level as Mach and Grimer. It's a Pokeball with faces, and then it inverts, and one of them's angrier. I don't know. Gen 1, I think, this is my take on Gen 1, is people have a lot of, you know, favorite Pokemon in Gen 1 and a lot of nostalgia bias, but I think if the modern games released with the Gen 1 Pokédex, people would be like, it's just a seal, it's a Flamigo, and I think like it's weird that people don't judge it the same. I want to judge this to be like, if this was Gen 10 and they released these Pokemon, would I like them or not? And you know, these would be my favorites, and these will be ones that I'm like, oh, that's okay, I guess. I'm not too opinionated about them. And Execute and Executor, I don't even remember their names properly, but I dislike these designs. I think they're creepy. But like, you know, that's just my personal preference. I'm sure they're cool designs to a lot of people, but this is just a bunch of eggs with faces on it, and this is a palm tree. And I don't really get how eggs turn into a palm tree. I don't know, man. The whole the whole thing's crazy to me. Cubone is like really cool conceptually design. I think it's like above Mankey. It's like a Haunter level, I think. Something like that, I believe. Marowak, I really don't like Marowak's design, but obviously the lore behind it being like the skull fusing to its mother or whatever, mother's skull. I think it's interesting, but I much prefer the fan theory that Marowak can evolve into Kangaskhan, but I don't think that's canon. And I do think like Marowak and Cubones, like the difference isn't really memorable. It's like on par with these three, I guess. The Arcanine and Rapidash evolutions, I suppose. Hitmonlee, I like the design. I use it a lot in this generation, but I think if this was, it's because like I don't really like the other fighting types that much. I think you know, the Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan being Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan is like a really cool conceptual thing, but design wise it could be better. I much prefer like a Mienshao or something like Pheromosa even, I don't know, but I'm I'm weird and I like the future generations. Hitmonchan is like here, I think visually it's way worse. It's like Golduck levels. I feel like, I don't know, I like that it's a, you know, a Jackie Chan thing, but design wise it's definitely fall short. Yeah, Lickitung I guess just fits into this like pink section of like, feel indifferent about it. You know, it's a giant Pokemon with a giant tongue and it's called Lickitung. I don't know what else to say. Coughing is like on par with Muck and Grimer. I get that it's a pollution thing. I think there was a lore behind it being like they were named NY and something like pollution cities or something, but I don't know, they didn't end up doing that. And you know, it's got another bull on its thing. I don't know, it's strange to me. Rhyhorn is, you know, it's an interesting design. I'm indifferent to it. I think it's fine, I guess, but I don't know. Rhydon is on par with Nidoking, but Nidoking's purple, so it's slightly lower. Like, I don't know, this doesn't feel crazy enough to me. Kangaskhan lore-wise is like cool, and I like the little Jory in its pocket, but I don't know, the lore isn't confirmed, so it's like it's not as cool as I wish it was. I think Kangaskhan and Marowak can be partners, you know, they can chill next to each other. Yeah, so the lore of Kangaskhan is like supposedly that the little Jory is a baby Cubone, and then the Kangaskhan mum dies, and then the skull on Cubone's head is what, I don't know, I think that lore is interesting, but I don't think it's true. So, you know, wish it was. Chansey is, you know, once again, there's just like a bunch of random pink mons. One has an egg, one has a tongue, one has, I don't know, a Nurse Joy. Not my personal taste. Tangela can go into D tier. I think it's like Venonat levels. I don't get how this is a grass type, but I think that's the gimmick, right? It's like this is a water type looking coral that's actually a grass type. I don't know, strange thing. Horsey, I think, for some reason, along with Oddish, is like a really cute design. I think it's cute. And then I think Seadra, it's not Kingdra, right? Kingdra is later on. I think Seadra's a pretty cool design. It's unique. It's too aggressive for me, but I think design-wise, it's pretty cool. It's like below Dugong. I think that's how I feel. Goldeen is not a great design. Personally, I would never use it, but I get that it's like a koi fish, right? Is that what it's going for? And then it evolves into this ugly thing called Seeking, and I hate it. I don't get how this evolves into this, but you know, whatever. Yeah, I would never use Seeking. Starmie is bottom of C. It's like Magnemite levels. It doesn't make sense in my brain, but I like it's unique. It's memorable. Staryu is pretty cool. It's like Gengar levels, you know, it's the same tier, but you know, I think it's a very strong Pokemon. Water Psychic, and then it's a purple one, but I don't know, design wise, in my mind this isn't a Pokemon, so it's like it can't go into B for me, but I kind of respect it. Mr. Mime for me is an easy F tier. I think it's a very strong Pokemon, but it kind of creeps me out, and I don't really like the humanoid looking mons that much. I think in later gens, you know, I like a God of War and a Hatterini or something, but yeah, I don't know, these creepy ones, it just looks like a man to me. Jinx, I think, looks slightly better, but it's, I don't know, it's really hard in my F tier to differentiate. They all kind of do the same thing. Cypher, I think, is, it's like Charmeleon levels, where I think the design is okay, but it's like I respect it for being a bug type, you know, a unique looking bug type, but I don't know, it's just not my personal taste, I guess. I like the Buzz and Magmar. It's like they try too hard to be like, hey, I'm electric and hey, I'm fire. They look derpy. I don't like them. I actually think they're like below those designs. But Pinsir, I don't know, just get out of my face. There's so many yucky Pokemon. I think Gen 1 has so many bad Pokemon. I'm so for real. I think there's just as many bad as there are good. Taurus, I like the design. Taurus is cool. It's like here for me. I think it's a well-designed Pokemon. I have no issues. And then in the later generations, the regional variants for Taurus, I really like those too. I think the regional variants might even be an A for me. So I think Taurus and B is like perfect. Magikarp, I think Magikarp, like concept-wise, is pretty cool. It's just a useless fish that knows how to splash. It's like whatever to me. Gyarados is a design I respect. What is it, like a Chinese dragon concept? Personally, I would never really be interested in it. But I don't have like many issues with it other than it's got a really ugly face and it's very popular. It might be like top of C, it might be B. I might reevaluate, but yeah, Magikarp and Gyarados are pretty iconic Pokemon, so I do respect them a little bit. Lapras is another S tier Pokemon. I love Lapras. I think it's one of my favorite Kanto Pokemons without a doubt. I think Ditto, design-wise, is really unique. I also like the theory that Ditto is like a failed experiment on Mew. They share the same shiny. They both turn blue. And I think that's really interesting. But it might not be true, so it's unlucky. I think Eevee and Vulpix are really cute designs. I feel like it has so much potential. All the evolutions or the evolutions are really cool conceptual things. And I think Eevee itself is iconic. It's one of my favorite shinies. You know, there's not many. There's very little bad things I have to say about Eevee. Vaporeon, I believe, is above Charmander, and I think Jolteon's just on the same level. I think Vaporeon is a more unique concept, right? It's a mammal turned aquatic. It's pretty interesting, but the internet lore of Vaporeon is horrifying. But yeah, I think most evolutions fit into A tier or above for me, so it makes sense that Vaporeon and Jolteon are so high. Flareon, unfortunately, is like the one evolution I'm not as keen on. I think it's not that bad. I just wish it was better. I feel like fire is like a really cool concept. Maybe I wish that the fur was the orange or something. But I don't know, it's just a little weaker than these two. Porygon is, I don't know, it's hard to rank a Porygon. It's like a man-made Pokemon, right? Lore-wise, I think it's unique and stands out, but it does fall short a little. I think it's like on par of like Shelder for me, and I feel bad for saying that. I don't know, I feel something about its design makes me feel sorry for it. Omanyte is actually like, I really like Omanyte's design. I think obviously it's I like the fossils that respect history, and it's an Ammonite, you know, it's a cool one. Maybe it's my nostalgia bias for Ark Survival because there's Ammonite in that game, but I think Omanyte's like a really well designed Pokemon. Omastar, however, is like disgusting, and I wish it didn't exist. This is the Dome fossil, Kabuto. I think it's worse than... I think I often choose Kabuto over Helix because I prefer Kabutops. But yeah, I think the Dome and Helix fossils, Ammonite and Kabuto, I think, what is this, like an Ammonite and a... what's the thing at the bottom? A Trilobite, maybe? I don't know. I think for some reason I respect the fossils. I don't think I like them too much, but I like the concepts behind them, and I feel like they're unique. I don't know, I think Kabuto design-wise is interesting. It reminds me of Cypher a lot, but I don't know, like parts of the design feel awkward, like the random six-pack and stuff. But Kabuto's kind of cute. I don't know. Aerodactyl is a very conflicted design for me because I like Pteranodons, I like pterodactyls, but it's a very ugly rock. It's a very rock design. It's like Krabby levels, I think. It's like Zubat levels, but Zubat's better, Goldine's better, Krabby's better, Seal's better, Persian's better. No, it's like Persian levels. I don't know, but we're getting through the list. There's 151 that we're going through, so my bad if I'm yapping on a lot of these. But yeah, Snorlax is Charizard levels. I think it's a very good design, very iconic, very well executed. I think I prefer Snorlax to Charizard. I think Charizard gets a lot of love and it's kind of undeserved. Like, dragons are cool, fire dragons are cool, but I feel like the design could have been better. Especially if you like look at Dragonite and they're basically the same Pokemon. Articuno and Zapdos and Moltres is hard for me to rank because the Galarian forms in the later gens, I really love their designs. I think they're awesome, and I think these are respectable designs because they stand out. But I don't really have too strong opinions about these. I think I never really like legendary Pokemon. I don't like using them. The exception is like, you know, Rayquaza or something, but you know, I think they do their jobs. Like, you know, it's the fire legendary, it's the electric legendary. You know, they do stand out well enough. Dratini and Dragonair, I love these designs. I think they're really cute and elegant, and you know, they look like they have such a perfect potential. They're gonna be the greatest evolution in the game, and then it evolves into Dragonite, and I just kind of don't like Dragonite. I think Dragonite's evolution is like Rapidash levels, where it's like, you know, is it an okay Pokemon? Sure, but does it make sense for the line? I don't think so. I think these two deserved way better than this. It's just a fat Charizard. I don't know. I'm very sad what happened to those. Mew is, I think Mew is like the bottom of my S tier. I think Mew is a good design Pokemon. I love that its like lore is like, I don't know, it's a cool mythical, and I like the Theodore lore. Mewtwo is an easy D tier for me. I think it's really ugly, and if they wanted to experiment on a Mew, they should have come up with something better than this weird big tail alien looking dude with a clunky head, you know. I think the design is iconic and a lot of people love it, but I don't know, Mew looks ugly. I do like this version, was this the Mega Y variant of Mew? But if this was that, then it'd be in B or something, but it's not, so that's okay. I don't think I'll rank the Megas, but just gonna review my list a little. Hopefully my list isn't too bad, but I know that it's definitely very different to what most people think about Kanto, and I do still respect a lot of the ones that I rank low. I think their designs are still iconic and memorable, and Kanto is a good region, but I do think if I were to compare these about, if there was a modern game with all of the Pokemon, would I use half these Pokemon in Kanto? No. So should they deserve A's and stuff? Probably not. You know, I feel like would I ever choose a Goldeen compared to something like a Milotic or something? I don't think so. It's an approximate list. I think it's pretty accurate to how I feel. Obviously there's a lot of Pokemon, so I might have like skipped the thought processes of a lot of these. It's a rough list. I think, you know, left to right is a bit hazy on some of them, but I think it's how I feel about a lot of these. Hopefully I don't trigger too many people in my video. It won't, because nobody will watch. But yeah, I've been Shy. This has been my Kanto tier list. I'm actually gonna go and play through LeafGreen or a ROM hack where I can combine LeafGreen and FireRed or something. But yeah, more lists in the future, and I hope someone maybe watched this video or something. Okay, goodbye.